Hello and welcome to this videocast for subscribers to davidicke.com. Well, it's been a week that's confirmed to me something that's kept me going through all the years of ridicule and abuse and dismissal and all the moronic stupidity that's been thrown my way in the last quarter of a century. And the confirmation is that if what you say has validity, then eventually it will be shown to be so. And the trick is to say what you believe to be true, what you know to be true, and not keep it to yourself and stay silent. Because what will people think of me? What will they say about me? And if you're in any way in the public eye, what will them journalists say? Well, my response to that was, don't give a shit. And it still is. Because if we're going to understand what's happening in the world, if we're going to sort out the mess, then we have to know the truth about what we're dealing with. And we're not going to do that by, even if we uncover it, staying quiet because we fear consequences for ourselves. That's how the control system fears and terrifies people into silent acquiescence so it can go on unchallenged. So this week, two things have happened in relation to my work. One, a book I wrote and came out originally in 1998 called The Biggest Secret, named a Prime Minister of Britain called Ted Heath as not just a paedophile, but as a Satanist and a serial child killer. Of course, it was dismissed, and Heath was around at the time. He had the passage read to him almost immediately after it was published, and he did nothing about it. And of course, it was, "The Icke's mad." This week, it's been announced that a series of police forces in Britain are investigating claims that Ted Heath abused children. Well, he did on an industrial scale, but he killed most of them on an industrial scale. And today I'm going to talk about some of the background that I've been told over the years about Heath. Some of which will lead many people, even now, to say, "That Icke's mad. Have you heard what he said about Ted Heath?" And then this book, The Perception Deception, massive work, and many books before this, going back many years, have said that we live in a fake reality. We live in the very advanced equivalent of a computer simulation. And there is a force controlling that simulation which is seeking to control us. And again, have you seen what that Ike's saying that we live in? Oh, God. And this week, the story in the mainstream media, is our universe fake? Physicists claim we could all be the playthings of an advanced civilization. Physicists say there's a possibility that our world is merely a simulation. They claim there may be evidence of this if only we know where to look. For instance, some of the laws of physics may not quite add up, they say. Well, actually, the laws of physics do add up, as perceived by scientists. But they only add up if we live in a simulation, which we do. And all this comes together in basically this. Wisdom is knowing how little we know. And what I call the arrogance of ignorance is the biggest block to human understanding about anything. The arrogance of ignorance is a human disease. Most journalists suffer from it, many to a very serious extent, fatal to their perception. And what it means is you take the norm, whatever it is at any point, as the truth from which you judge everything. Therefore, anything that is outside the official truth must be wrong, mad, or dangerous, and so dismiss it. And when you look through history, the only people that have moved the human race on in terms of expansion of understanding have been those that have challenged the norms. Because if that is not true, it means the norm must know everything at any point, which clearly it bloody doesn't. But the arrogance of ignorance says, like in the journalistic case, I mean, it's swamped with it. I'm going to abuse and ridicule this person because he's saying something different to the norm that I've been told is normal. And when you look through history, and you look at philosophers, and people who speak any kind of wisdom, there is a common theme. They use slightly different words, but the theme is the same. Here's 3 examples. Socrates in ancient Greece. To know is to know that you know nothing. That is the meaning of true knowledge. Confucius in China. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. And another one. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. Another great Confucius quote. And then finally, Albert Einstein. Condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance. And that does for most journalism, for a start, and most people, in my experience. And it's not just the height of ignorance. That's one level of it. But then to abuse those saying something else, that is the arrogance of ignorance.